I think that was something that was done by the current administration as well. Well, there was one that was being considered, and I don't know if that finally got through or not. I haven't.
They're considering making some of the Pacific remote islands marine national monuments into national marine sanctuaries.
That's right.
So
Whoa.
in
The
line,
Ross Sea.
1
Is that the one
million?
you looked at?
Come
Yeah,
down.
1.5 million square kilometers.
1.5 million square
okay,
kilometers, yeah.
well, that is bigger.
Well, it's the whole,
The Ross Sea is 1.9.
Wow.
So in terms of planning for Middle Valley, I just got a message from Kate Moran, Ocean Network Canada's president and CEO.
0.5, that's why.
She said, just learn from
what do you
our
have dialed in here for 0.5?
International Science Advisory Board that a team of researchers.
0.3, sorry.
Yep. Team of researchers are proposing to create a network of borehole real-time sensors in old ODP holes, and Middle Valley would be an option.
So they would rework the old boreholes and put sensors in them?
Apparently, yeah.
Wow.
They're looking at it. And then if we've got infrastructure here, we could cable to it and have real-time readings of it.
Yeah, that's a pretty easy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's been around. This legacy borehole thing has been around for a while to do that.
Yeah.
Just put something else in.
I forget how deep those holes are.
It depends on the borehole.
Like average depth, are they?
300 meters
300,
for like
500 meters.
Wow.
But, well, 300 meters below the seafloor. Some are 500.
And the diameter of them, they're quite large, right? Or are they not?
So the
Maybe
ones
they
that
just
have
look that way at the top.
re-entry, like with corks, I want to say they've got generally multiple strings of casing. And at the bottom, they might be, I'm trying to think of the ones at Cascadia. They're in the neighborhood of, 5.5 to 8.5 inches, if I'm not mistaken, diameter.
From my recollection, that's what, just by looking at the size, not by actually having the measurement.
Well, I mean, the measurement would be
They're
the size of the drill bit that drilled them, right?
Yeah.
An example. See that thruster?
Surprisingly
it's stopping.
big. I thought.
Or it looks like it's stopping.
They use standard size casing, and there's standard size drill bits that
Watch these guys.
drift through standard size casing. So there's not that many options.
What was the original boring done for like
Oscillating.
paleomagnetism, or is it just
You
oil
change
or
PID gauge
Hydrology.
hydrology?
Oh, Katie
Did you
online
capture
says
those
that
as well?
857D is 900 plus meters below
But you
seafloor.
captured what you changed?
That's deep.
I only changed the heading from 700 from 1,000.
All right.
Thanks, Katie.
You captured that?
I have it, yeah, I have a picture.
Roger.
That's all water. Also, trying to. I think and I'll say this so Katie can
Can
confirm.
correct you.
I think 857 was drilled
I'm
to
really
see
here, right?
Yeah, you're really there.
Yeah.
the refresh
do a reset,
flow
so.
into
That's
the
gonna
vents
be-
that we're measuring right now.
At the end of our kilometer, that was like a 10 meter. I don't know
Yeah.
what you want to do about that.
Yeah, it's hard to tease out whether that's DVL drift or whether
DVL drift. for
or
sure.
it's mounting slate offset. Even a degree over 1 degree over a kilometer, I'll get you. I've done that math before. I'll get you a few meters or whatever.
Yeah. Oh, the mounting offset.
Yeah, if it's even just a degree off. So,
Yeah.
and we've tried to dial that in, but it's kind of tough because you don't know if it's drift or that.
We after our kilometer long, we were about the DVL offset, whatever causes it, was a good 10 meters. We obviously left it because.
Yeah, it doesn't matter because we're using K2's combined solution.
So K2's solution is showing the USBO position, not the DVL position.
It's a combined. It's both. So I'll show you that. And
He's filtering them somehow.
yeah, I mean it vastly prefers DVL, but so it's it's driving its own line closer to the USBL, but if you were to track, I can increase the length on his thing so we can take a look at it over time.
Does he have
I think it's an EKF that he's running.
does he have velocity vectors on his? On
I would
HiPAC?
suspect he has somewhere a velocity record. I don't have access to that.
No, but they're not displayed on HiPAC.
No, no. Unfortunately, no.
I want my velocity arrows, right?
Yeah.
I had a dream we were running Quincy and it was completely dialed in.
It mostly is. It's just that there's tools that I need that aren't there, which is unfortunate because for a lot of purposes it's already great, way better, but a couple things are missing.
What are those things?
Some of the ways that like the targets, it's not, surprisingly not very as good as what we've got going on here as far as being able to timestamp, drop
Okay.
on the fly,
But
and edit. And
couldn't we run HiPAC and Quincy side by side? And
so my plan is not for this cruise, but I will be running it off watch to try to dial in, because I'm trying to dial in another nav solution, because K2's is on its own separate thing that you have to monitor versus having one that's built into Quincy. So I'm trying to dial that one in.
Speaking of dialed in, look at Hercules is like right under Atlanta.
Yeah,
Perfect.
looks pretty good. Let me go back to looking at this thing.
So sorry, you'll run it offline for
yeah, and then we can potentially like have it up here. It's just that the targeting's not the only thing. There's some other goofiness in there that's like workable, but I think the targets are probably one of the main difficulties.
That's for HiPAC replacement.
HiPAC
And run.
and that's the only thing we have just a couple things that we need to tease out. That NavG informs NavEst about that. Maybe we can hard code in NavEst and set at an operable state. And then it also starts to circle back to the fact that Hercules knows, for some reason in topside, I think Hercules, the way it's built, wants to know where it is in global and local position rather than just using an odometry frame.
Really?
So yeah, so NavEst actually informs an origin point to
That's
it.
interesting.
Yeah, and
For its auto XY.
Yeah, for autos.
We've seen that noise consistently on the
This?
the one, yeah, some noise. We had it consistently all the way.
Yeah.
On one side and not the other. I wonder if we're picking up.
It doesn't seem to at least be registering that, which is good. At least like it's not thinking that that's bottom, which is ideal. Although,
there's that.
Of course it is there for a second. Right when I said it, it shows up.
But we had that side of the beam seemed a little noisier than the other side, which makes sense because it might be picking up something on the bumper there.
Yeah, I don't know. Get a top down here. Yeah, that's lining up nice.
Yeah, fill in your shadow.
So it looks like we've got a lot of overlap, but a lot of this, like you can see here, when it starts to pick up some of this stray bit,
That's
I'm gonna have to cut this off anyway to
sort
make
of where it was showing like the red bolts. in that last view?
The red.
Yeah. Is that what you're talking about? Or?
Like this over here? Yeah, sometimes it'll pick up that as bottom, and
Okay.
we've got these little stray pings, and you can kind of see it over here, right? That stuff.
What's causing that? The shadow of the hill?
I think it's probably a little bit of side lobe and reflectance across, the hill itself, and we see that in shipboard multi-beam as well. You can get a reflectance, and it just kind of the sound kind of like glances off, and it'll you either cut those beams out or edit it out otherwise manually, but I tend to just cut the outer beams out. I've got it pretty wide open, just because we're trying to get the full extent, so like I wouldn't want to sacrifice getting good data on this side, which we're not going to do another pass, whereas I can just cut it over here. But if you wanted to, if you had all the time and we're running a tight survey, you could bring that swath width in, focus your beams on a tighter area, because you'll get a higher density, even though we're kind of at maximum necessary density. But
what do you mean maximum density? Is it the beam width or the?
Just the height that we're at and the point density. In the
we could be
like speed
higher.
Versus, it's kind of like, well, speed you're running into the limitations. Again, talking about that navigation being the prime driver of what we can get. So if your point density is like starting to be denser than your errors, then it's kind of like it's not really, you can't resolve more necessarily, just because you have that fuzziness in the errors.
What is this? Just kind of aft of the ROV, you can see on the bottom of the screen there's some like floating data points.
Yeah, we were looking, so it was this cluster here, which is some sort of artifact. It actually recorded that as as bottom, so that's kind of clearly not anything. Yeah. Unless you got a float down here we don't know about.
Not that we know of.
A bucket.
Bucket float.
Floating bucket.
Well, Atlanta is happy it's not. It's
barely thrusting.
Yeah, that's what we want.
Good.
So I turned down the heading speed as well to 5 degrees per second.
And we had it cranked way up.
Yeah, usually it's like you want a fast
I couldn't figure out where you get a joy gain readout. That's not there anywhere, is it?
Oh, it's on the thing right there.
Oh yeah, I know it's there somewhere because Danny was like, "Oh, they have the joy gain turned down." Herc's a lot happier too. Well, just as I say that, the rest of them last. They're closer to balance, and it's not trying to smash the lateral. It's getting some force from the side, but not a lot. Still getting about a degree there, though.
Yeah,
drives me crazy.
I don't know. I wonder if you. It's tough though. It is.
It's way less than it was, though. We had it was like oscillating 5 degrees on each side, right? Which is, I could see it in this compass. If I can't see it here, this is, noise level to me.
Yeah, there's only so much you can. It's never quite getting to 0 though, so I wonder if it's like a. That's where you would the integral term would come into play.
Yeah.
If it's trending on one side of the goal. Oh, but there it goes, just barely. Yeah.
We found doing this over a 5-week period with Ropos, which is set up very similar the way the thrusters are.
Yeah.
And we had a multi-beam sled on, and it had INS and a reason on it.
Wow.
But we had, by the end of the 5 weeks, we had a row of post-it notes up here for different PID settings.
Really? For like different scenarios and stuff?
Yeah, and like we were doing super long lines too, like I don't know, some ridiculous 10-kilometer lines or something like that. And
how high off the bottom were you?
we were trying for an average, I forget, something close to this, but it was a caldera, so we were, you know, you would be flying along, then all of a sudden, you know, you drop off a 50, 100-meter cliff or across a canyon. We're trying to run the lines in something that made sense with the bathymetry, but then we had the ship, which was didn't have DP. It was, we were live boating at 2,600 meters or something like that. So
wow.
we tried to, we were using the multi-beam to try and maintain a constant, I think it was 30 meters, something like that, 25 meters. But we would use the run line from the previous pass. By the time we did a line and turned around, they had most of the line next to it processed. We had also the waterfall display, but they had, like, you know, first pass processing of it. So we had an idea what was coming up. So we could trend up or down.
Yeah, but if you're doing 10-kilometer lines, you had lots of time to process, right?
Yeah, yeah. And we had both online surveyors like Rennie, and then there was an offline guy.
Like Rennie.
Like Rennie. We had like 3 Rennies on the boat.
Rennie and Renato.
Yeah, we only have 2 on the boat right now.
Yeah, right.
Nico's somewhere else.
Yeah, they had 2, we were working 12-hour shifts, so they had 2 guys on, 1 on each shift, and then they had a third person who was kind of the main processor. He was the lead for the survey group. That's your kids in Canada there. What's their name? What's the survey outfit you guys use?
Terra remote?
Yeah, Terra. I believe that was the Terra guys. They were a long way from home.
This is super cool to see for
There's
a couple
noise
hundred
again.
meters. I don't know that it's super cool to see for
Yeah.
10-kilometer runs each time. I'd lose interest pretty quick.
Really hoping that this is viz and not data gaps.
You should be able to
Seems
see
like
it in
pretty
the-
regular
Yeah,
intervals.
it's
Oh, I
Yeah.
think the step ended, Dan.
Ah, thank you.
Also, you're lagging behind again.
Roger. That's because the step ended. Complacency. Can you see it in the RON orbit data as well, or just in the
Not until I go to process it.
you can't see it in the real-time orbit?
Well, yeah, it seems to be, it's difficult to say because it's
So-
about the same width as what what we can display here.
I don't know. I'm not seeing those gaps in like the yellow data ever. Right?
Yeah, you're right. You're right. I see what you're saying, Dan, and Jake, I agree. We don't see.
Oh, you know what it's doing? Yeah, Jake's onto something there. So when it voxels the high-res data to the low-res data, that's where it's leaving the gap.
Yeah,
That's what's happening.
there's like a pause, and
Oh.
then it.
I'll bet you.
Yeah,
It's getting ready to, so the buffer's almost full.
right.
My bucket's almost
So
full.
that would indicate that it's a visualization problem because, like you said, we're not really.
Yeah.
There's
like,
no gap of
we'll
any
see.
raw
Like the
data.
yellow will continue here. And we'll.
Yeah, and we'll lose. We'll get a black zone
Well, I
here.
hope the
and then-
yellow continues. But
Well, yeah. We gotta- yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, it's just that it hasn't. That could have to do with that little visualization error we had, crash we
Probably
had
just
earlier.
like overloaded with so many points, whatever,
Yeah.
I don't know.
The buffer is full. More memory.
Also, because we're doing 0.25, like smaller
Yeah, I
points, so
do
there's a
have
lot more.
I gridded it that way to see more.
Yeah, totally.
But it definitely bogs it down. Like something like this would be like 0.5 or 0.75 would be probably better to.
I mean, it looks cooler.
Yeah. Looks
I
awesome.
thought only scientists were greedy. Are you saying greedy navigators trying to get
Yeah.
more data?
Yep. Totally greedy.
More data. We need more data. ROV operators, we just want more beans.
More beans.
Yeah.
We're greedy when it comes to beans.
And cameras.
I think
Oh,
there-
yeah.
More
Well,
buttons.
you know what goes with cameras?
Beans.
Lights.
Yeah.
Oh, you need more lights for more cameras, and for more lights, you need more beans.
I think we're going through a paradigm shift where we don't want no more data, no more data, no mass, no more data.
Yeah.
Higher
Really?
quality data, different data,
Yeah.
but simple
Steph-
data.
Steph
It's
was
just
saying
like
you
there's
guys
way
get
too much.
300 gigabytes a day.
Yeah,
Oh my God.
What do you do with that?
Nothing.
archive it.
Archive it and spend money on bigger hard drives and never find it again.
Right.
It's like a
No.
geological system where, eventually it turns into stone.
So then all that 300 gig has to be backed up, of course, right?
It
Of
does,
course.
yeah. We've got a full
Build a whole
backup
data
of
center for that.
Do you use like a remote service, like an Amazon kind of thing, or do you have your own?
We have our own.
Whoa, that's a lot to maintain.
Well, we get
Yeah.
somebody else to do it.
Yeah.
No, we do it. We
Don't
have
we
our
send
own.
it-
We have our own full backup.
Wow.
And then we also send it to well, it used to be Saskatchewan, now it's somewhere else.
Yeah. So we do have access to assets through the Digital Alliance of Canada.
It used to go directly to University of Saskatchewan. I thought it doesn't go somewhere else anymore?
Waterloo, but it's not as straightforward full backup as the backup that we maintain.
You should see if you can get Jeff Bezos to give you some free bandwidth.
Well,
or-
we have looked at commercial cloud
That's
services.
how they get you with the free bandwidth.
Yeah. Unlimited free photo storage. And by the way, if you want videos, you got to pay extra for that.
Well, the trick is if you want to take anything out of the cloud, there's
Yeah.
that's where
That's where it gets sticky.
yeah,
Because why is that? Because it's slow to get out, or?
because that's their business model.
Ah, I see.
We got it.
Yeah.
And
We
if
have
you-
some requirements as well in terms of requiring that some parts of our data are stored on Canadian servers. So we're a little bit limited in terms of overall commercial cloud providers.
Yeah.
You don't really get a good sense of Heineken Hollow in that. Maybe it's no longer hollow.
Did you have a good sense before?
Well,
Depends
my
on how many
stomach is
Heinekens
Heineken
you get.
Hollow right now.
Because to me, it's just like an arrow on
Yeah.
on a map.
But-
Steve said he didn't have a good sense of Heineken Hollow on the map, and I'm not sure that we had a good sense of it before.
But it doesn't seem to be hollow anymore. They filled it. It's filled.
Hercules is tracking off just a bit to the northwest of Atlanta now.
Some days when we receive the data deliverables from Nautilus with all the high-resolution video, our daily uploads to the archive are much larger.
I can imagine. Yeah.
So it's not always a constant stream. Sometimes we have big chunks, particularly right after expeditions. And our big culprits are hydrophone data. That takes up a lot of space, and our high-res video.
High
Yeah,
frequency.
the hydrophone is crazy.
I wouldn't have thought that. I would have thought.
Oh no, they're massive.
Yeah.
Massive.
Yeah, we get away with the seismos by sending them to Iris, right? So we don't
Yeah.
count that,
Yeah.
because that would be the other serious.
Why do the hydrophones take so much?
Are they high frequency?
128 kilohertz.
Yeah, that's pretty high.
Well, there's different ones. That's
Yeah.
I mean.
And where we have an array, so that's
4
hydrophones, where, you know, in the past we would just have one. So we've been growing the hydrophone network pretty substantially.
Why it's such a high frequency? Is it? Is that for the?
Well, it's the Nyquist thing. So it's 128
Yeah,
kilohertz
really.
gets you whatever half of that is. 64.
How does that work, Steve, that you have to double sample?
You got a sinusoid.
Yeah.
To describe that sinusoid, you need to have 2 points.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
Huh? You have to say that again. I don't get it.
It's the Nyquist rule. So to fully capture like the peak of a sinusoid, you need to sample it twice. It's better explained in a diagram.
Yeah.
Rather than like
What's the name of that rule you just said?
Especially for
the
8th graders.
the
like me.
Nyquist rule, the Nyquist frequency.
Nyquist.
Sampling.
Go.
Hey, Rennie,
Yes.
can you zoom out on the Norbit just so AJ can take a look at what we've got?
AJ looks like he just
Pretty
did the Tour de
cool.
France.
Cool, right?
So where you guys sampled was actually
This one.
south,
This is
yeah.
down south, yeah.
Where you guys sampled, it was actually, we think, Chowder Hill. And so we did a pass
Stopped again.
from east to west,
Why?
and we found dead dog, and then we came up this way. Correct, yeah, yeah.
The borehole was there, or the casing was there.
Yeah, we could see that reflected
Thanks, Chick.
over here.
I kept doing that earlier too, and
Just-
I added like 600 meters of.
Cause you guys found this, thought you were a dead dog, and then we're going south looking
Yeah, I
for
think I'll do that.
Chowder Hill. Yeah. 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 Yeah, okay.
Did you have any luck?
I guess
with
it is
your-
a pretty dynamic
with the
environment.
first map?
Yeah.
Is it, you have a point cloud yet? You can.
This thing?
No, the first one
Yeah.
you processed.
Yeah.
We were talking about
And we
making
haven't fully covered like kind
a
of
STL file so I could print it.
Oh yeah, I haven't figured out how to get it efficiently.
Rennie's been taking
get
it
to
and
STL.
holding it over.
But you could give me what can you give me?
Oh, check this.
ASCII XYZ. I can do like, you know, floating point geotiffs. It would
They
be
were
great
just trying to figure out
point
no, they
cloud
weren't.
data of just in
which
different
heading to go
formats.
north, like here.
Yeah, what tool did you use during the?
I didn't use it.
But I
that,
don't think
that
we've
was
got
from.
all of
I think
this
Chris
fully.
took his stuff into
we're
like
gonna see if we
Blender and
get it on
exported
this
it out of
pass.
there.
Cloud Compare or something?
I mean, I could use Cloud Compare and see
There's
if the output.
Yeah,
I think Cloud Compare
but-
has a tool
but we
for
might get
Alright,
it.
I
Yeah,
could
some
do that. But
producing meshes or something, and then
Some online
exporting
ones.
the meshes in STL.
yeah, I'll use.
Well, yeah,
Cloud
like we
Compare.
had some gaps here, so we want to
Just
certainly
haven't
go
gotten
over
to the
that.
Cloud Compare step. This just hasn't.
Well, I mean, yeah, you need to
I'm
They-
sleep
yeah.
at some point.
I'm
Yeah.
not
They
sailing
were-
as a mapper right
Go
now.
here and
They
curve
were doing
back, whatever that
yeah,
is,
I think they were
southwest.
using Cloud Compare. They were doing an online.
Well, we'll see what
thing.
it looks at like
that
and
looks
what
like a cool little
Rennie
feature
recommends.
that just showed up
It
on
would
the
be
left
cool
there.
to do a print before
Looks like
the
it looks like
end
a
of the
whale.
Yeah.
cruise.
Yeah.
How's
I also told Jonathan it would be cool to have a photogrammetry model before the end of the cruise.
Yeah.
Well,
I've yet to get anything.
I mean, I have it for high
certainly-
rise. I just need to get it
Yeah.
in the right format to print. That's it. I'm just thinking we've got a good enough one to print. It just needs to get in the right format. I
we
just
got
haven't
we got
chased
a
it
ton
down.
of photogrammetry yesterday at the towers.
Yeah, he's blaming. He's saying he hasn't got it off the ship yet.
Oh, Jonathan?
Yeah, that's his
I mean,
excuse.
it was probably so much data, but this is, satellite's kind of been wonky, but yeah.
Yeah, It's getting it off the ship so he can process it.
Yep.
Battery's busy doing video highlights. Octopus.
I'll tell you, Rennie, my OCD
Memories.
is really sad that those lines didn't connect at that edge.
Which
Yeah,
edge
mine
there?
too.
On the left edge there. I was really hoping.
Oh, this?
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
But it's
I
got,
thought
it's got kind of a cool fishhook thing going on.
Yeah.
I've
So
been
we're
watching it
gonna-
like you watch the DVD menu. and
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm trying to
yeah.
wait for it to
Waiting
come.
for it.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. We should.
Is it gonna hit?
You'd like
now?
multi-beam mapping on the ship. It's if that's the kind of thing you're into, there's lots of that.
Lots of OCD.
There's lots of like seeing things. We start to see things in the data, and then we're like, all right, well that's and you name it after whatever. Like that's the clown seamount, you know, or whatever. The hummingbird. The hummingbird was actually really interesting. I was like, okay, there's no way that's not a hummingbird. I'm not going crazy. It was like had its wings back.
So, same thing when you're laying on your back during the summer watching the clouds go by.
Yeah.
So you can see now you can see the cork in its shadow, right?
Oh yeah.
What's going to be interesting here is if we get this same interference, which would indicate to me that there's some fluid is causing that.
Oh, wow.
Which I don't see yet, but.
Well, it's kind of strange that they're perfectly vertical lines, right?
Yeah, it looks to
And
me
in
like
some sort of
sonar.
angles that if they're angled, they're all angled the same way, like as
Yeah.
the current would go. If they're random, noise, there could be that much diffuse sort of, like they could be temperature, like not black smoke,
Because we've
but
seen
temperature.
a couple of those teeny little babies.
Yeah.
I would think that these are not, just given the sonar direction, they're more a rather than like active venting, just the entire cloud was occasionally picking up as reading as a hit.
It's reflecting. The beams are reflecting off particles in the water.
I mean, because we saw that so strongly at the smoker sites, I would think that there's a chance that could be that, even in a more diffuse.
Yeah, I think it's a temperature, like that CORAS system is supposed to pick up these temperature variabilities on top of North Tower and turbulence, and basically they're 300 kilohertz.
In the water.
So you're going to, at 400, you're going to pick up, a strong temperature gradient.
Well, we're going over something right now.
Oh, cool.
Right, just north of Dead Dog.
Did we ever get resolution as to why it's called Dead Dog?
We went around, we had 3 names now. three myths.
3 myths. Three incorrect stories.
I think Katie says that she thinks it's because there was a red dog something in Alaska, and they just riffed on it to make it Dead Dog. Then there was the story I heard, and I can't remember from who, whether it was, I don't know who. I could have been even Verena, that her dog died on one of the cruises, not that he was on the cruise.
Not that he was on the cruise.
He died at home peacefully
We're gonna name
in
this.
his bed. But
wouldn't, if your dog died, wouldn't you name it after the dog?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
not
Feels
just
fairly
explicitly
impersonal.
that
Well,
it's
Dead dog.
that's why it's a likely myth
We've had
too.
this
and then-
conversation so many times.
Oh, sorry. I'm
No,
late-
no,
I'm
I'm
late
just
to the
saying, like,
party
it's-
here.
We've all
and
had
then,
the same thought.
The same logic.
and then
Deja vu stuff.
then there was
Yeah.
one with especially puppy dog was considered because it was so furry. It was furry with.
Okay.
So I think that's right, Katie. You're still out there, and I think Katie has the most plausibility, but
It's picking up some of that stuff.
it's easy to find out from Verena whether it was her dog dying that caused the name or not.
Yeah, someone asked in the chat earlier, and I didn't touch it because I was like, this
See you
feels
grabbing
like a
those,
sad topic. I don't need to.
Things ready?
So back row, as far as operationally, we still have about 150 meters to go, so we're gonna just cover this again. Did you want to come back and sample the vent that you didn't sample, or if I zoom out here, you can see that you know, there may be some more extent in this area. Obviously there could be more extent anywhere, but that's the most.
Yeah, I feel like from our paper map, like just to the, like to the side that's not covered, I guess to the east of Chowder Hill, there, we don't really have coverage to sort of overlay with our paper map, right?
Sure.
So,
Yeah.
Rennie, we're just, that line there at the start is really close to where we stopped the other
Yeah.
one, right? But we don't get that bump.
You don't have anything south of there though, right?
Not south,
Yeah.
but it was around that same sort of line. And there was a bump. The last thing we saw was a bump, which we thought was that bump that is now
Right.
not there at all.
So like on the paper map, there's Inspired Mound? Sorry,
Inspired
Mound?
Yeah.
And I don't know that I see that on this.
Okay, I see where you have the Norbit stop
Going up
survey.
over the hill there.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
those were the things I think that we were looking at. Remember those when you first came in? We were finding these little diffuse little guys.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
must be them.
180 meters east of where we are is where you stopped the last survey.
Straight east?
Ish.
Okay.
Yeah,
So then 180 meter.
it'd be nice to get overlap with that.
Oh.
Yeah, it's going to be somewhere out here.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, it would be really nice to sort of pass this and then sort of,
So
Turn.
we'll go to this extent.
Yeah.
We can come this way, come up,
yeah.
and then that's going to take a bit.
How much is a bit?
Well, I'm not sure when we started this line, but I mean, just moving Atalanta to get over there and coming down, you know the drill.
Half an hour.
Do you have to go parallel, or can you just run the line from?
We could run it like this, yeah.
Yeah,
Sure.
just turn when you get to the right spot to turn.
Yeah, come this way and just go to as far as we want. And then we could then come back down and go to the event. Whichever event you want.
Yeah, which would be,
Okay, so once we're wrapped up on this move, we'll just go at a parallel angle
okay.
there. Okay.
Do you still see those channel features on the?
on the new pass, you mean?
Yeah, on the
So,
new pass. I guess so that was properly.
I don't know what channel features.
It looked like there were like
The strings
yeah.
there.
Oh, these,
Yeah.
yeah. It's hard to say because it's no. You see how there's that slight offset there? That's stuff that takes a bit of time to figure out what's causing that.
Huh.
You can see that how it's just like really minorly shifted.
Yeah.
That could be patch test related, lack of patch test.
It looked on the first pass like there were actual like channels running down from the top, but now I don't see them so clearly.
Well, yeah, now they would be obscured because they're not quite lined up perfectly
Yeah.
with the second pass. So
Is the reference point for the multi-beam the altitude off the bottom or the pressure?
I'm
Could that
not
be
sure.
a tidal offset?
I think K2's solution incorporates everything
Okay, so
that
it's
we
not
have
like-
available, but I would suspect it biases pressure, but I don't know. I don't know what exactly his workings. Jake may know.
I don't know the workings.
I feel
That's
like
all I can say.
Yeah.
I would think it's the
I'm not
altitude.
gonna speak.
I
on
would
something
imagine
I don't know.
altitude. Pressure would always give you like a lay of shells like this, right? The longer the survey,
And the errors in the altitude are matching the errors in the multi-beam because of sound velocity variability.
Oh. And
yeah.
Oh, I just don't put in.
But there
bigger
might be a
steps.
whole whack of other things that we're not considering.
I got 100.
Want to sit here for a bit?
There's a weird
meters
fish.
to go.
So aspirationally, do you guys think you'll get to sample the second mount? We're gonna have time. Oh,
I think
sensitive subject.
I think we're closely looking at weather.
Yeah.
More for whether we can get something else done elsewhere before, rather than it closing in, because it seems to be steady.
It's the never-ending dance.
So we get the best decision is made exactly at the time.
I mean, I think at a minimum we should get eyeballs on dead dog.
Yeah.
The gas tights, I feel like that could be half an hour or like 4 hours.
It seems like if it works out the way that, you know, we get Danny to knock it over.
Told you, you knock over one vent, you're branded for life.
No, if it's nice, a spot nice and low, you can sit down. It might be quick. If it's like a complicated spot, then it might be, you know, incredibly long.
Want to hear the story of my first one I knocked over?
What I was going to say is, I think we've got the geometry figured out on Orion on the best way to trigger it. So, and that worked out pretty well this morning.
What'd you do? Backhand it?
Backhanded it, but the jaw is closed. So I used the inner jaw up against the side of it, and I used all the full force of the forearm to to slam it home, and it
I tried
out
that.
beautifully.
I couldn't get that. You got the inner part of the jaw, the flat part.
I got the finger, the inner finger. So you got the jaws intermeshing. I got the inner finger on the button, and then I backhanded with the with the forearm.
The puck idea was abandoned. That was not. Doesn't make things easier.
We haven't tried the puck idea because we always forget to get it out of the box.
It's an extra step with the craft. You have to get the craft out. You have to hand the puck over to the Orion, and then you've got to pick up the gas tight, get the gas tight in position, and then you got to maneuver the puck into position.
Yeah.
Then you got to put the
puck away. Just an added step.
Added a couple steps.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm pretty sure the tower I knocked over was made out of paper mache. Because I barely breathed on it and it fell over.
66 degrees.
Someone else loosened it up, right? It was already falling over.
No, it's Katie explained it well. It's like it's anhydrite, so it's I think she called it retrograde. Basically, it's solid when it's hot,
Depends on where you read the
and
temperature.
it turns into dust when it's cool. So that's the whole reason they never grow very big, and there's a huge mound around it. They're just it's doing that all the time. So it's not really, you're not,
the instrument rack.
you didn't knock over the Statue of Liberty or anything like that. That was just a normal process that.
Yeah.
It's good to be reassured because my stomach's still turning from that.
Someday I'm going to automate that so you don't have to monitor
it. Does look, it does look.
I need some more legit temp sensors, but I can automate the fans to come on and off in the...
It did look
Atalanta's probably slowing down in the move. Still going
like
forward though.
Like old incense sticks or something like that, right? They look stable. You tap it, right?
Yeah, Atalanta just got pulled.
Collapse after that, right?
But that's why that whole mound, all those mounds are like, what's the reason to have a mound there? It's not uplift.
We did one backwards last time.
It's just.
Or are you going to move forward again? What are you going to do?
No, so the ship, whatever Atalanta swings, it'll probably be around here, and then we'll run that for a bit.
Where do you think it'll swing to?
I'm hoping at least around where Herc is. It's coming.
I'll just hold position.
Yeah, that's fine. Oh, right, we're actually here.
Yep.
Forgot.
You can rehome the DVL.
Yeah, let me know when you're ready.
I'm ready.
And I presume that's the answer to the question that someone had in the
Okay, all good.
the chat, where why aren't these vents occupied by animals? It's just that they're constantly being built and falling down. So there's no reason for anybody.
Yeah, not a
It's
solid habitat.
Interesting, there's also none of those large crabs around here either, which I wonder why that, I guess, yeah.
We saw some critters crawling around at that diffuse vent, the one that we.
But yeah, I didn't see any crabs, which I thought would be the apex.
They were. I'm a terrible biologist.
Well, the crabs look like crabs.
Well, they were little.
Little guys.
Little
guys. Yes, there was squat lobsters.
Yeah. Okay.
That's good. Good description there you had with.
Yeah, that's still better than Dirk and I yesterday or whatever it was. That was abysmal.
What was that?
Our last bio chat.
Oh yeah. It can be summarized as raw.
South.
Poor Stephanie was just like bleeding from the mouth as we were talking about bio back here.
Me?
I think we were talking about like fossils or something like that.
Yeah, it was fossils.
Yeah.
I was here?
Yeah, was it you?
I don't remember
I think
that.
it was Cassie.
Yeah, maybe.
Everything's a blur.
I think everyone else is tuned
What
out
day
and it's
is
just
it?
me and you talking.
Oh, Katie says we have seen some crabs and squat lobsters in prior years. Also clams in varying numbers. So I had a question about the name of the chowder. Is that because of the clams and somebody was hungry for chowder?
You know, clam chowder sounds amazing right now.
Stop.
That's what we sort of surmised that, but I'm going to defer to Katie. Maybe nothing. Chowder was bad that day on the cruise or something like that.
Yeah,
Tossed all their chowder over.
I think they were running out of names.
But if there were clams down there,
Yeah,
I can see where it would be like,
Chowder Hill.
that looks like a good chowder.
Okay, so in the back row, it's just now settling in. So on the Norbit map here, we've got roughly north up. So unknown kind of what this looks like over here. We could just come 90 degrees from where we are right now, just go out this way. Or if you'd like to go another bearing.
And then where would you have to turn around to go north and tie into the Norbit stop survey?
Yeah, I mean, it's rough because I don't have it out, but I think it was somewhere around here. So we
okay.
just would
it's
come that
further
way.
south than I
Come up.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it was, oh, sorry. Yeah, I think it was like just east of it. Let me reference my HiPAC map. Sorry. It's too many maps. Norbit's survey stop was just northeast of Chowder Hill.
Yeah, okay.
By 130 meters. So let me go back here. What turned out to be Chowder Hill is this. So that's 100. So another 30 meters out.
Okay. And
like
a little bit up.
And then we should go a little further, yeah. So if we could just come east, if that's, you know, it saves marginal amount of time to just go east until we hit that crossover point, you know?
Yeah.
Or we could come.
We'll know where it is because there's another bump there. Maybe we'll go to the bump and we'll know the bump that we saw on the actual coming in survey.
Yeah, I don't know what bump that was. It could be any one of these bumps.
Or
Well, I guess we know where the survey stopped. We know where we came from.
Yeah, and
we can just kind of guess, right? Which heading did we come in at?
Direct east-west.
I mean, I've got the ship record.
270.
Yeah, I mean, that we
Just
kind of
came
know.
in
We
here.
just have to make it there, right?
So we could just go east if that's the most straightforward.
I think
Yeah,
that
I think
works.
that's what we should do.
East
then.
from where
I
we're
think,
at.
do you
90.
agree?
And
They
then
came in like,
go to the bump.
Yeah, they came in from here.
yeah, so we
Yeah.
just go a little south where we are right now and
Yeah.
go east and then until we meet up. And then
Will we meet up with it if we go straight east? Aren't we a little bit too far south?
The edges of it, yeah, will.
There'll be overlap, Rennie,
Okay.
right?
Yeah, between that and then turning around to go to the vent,
Yeah.
Okay.
there would be enough.
Okay. Sounds good.
So I need at least, I'll do 150 meters. That should be fine.
You'll see the bump. There's a bump there.
Okay.
It's about the size for Chowder Hill, and it's not on this map,
Well, this is not right. Hold on a second.
our Argatron map.
Well, now I'm seeing that that's 200. Oh, I was measuring. Wait, no, not yet. Dan. Gotta stop recording when we do that. It's too fast.
Yeah, I was just getting ready to go. Thought
Yeah.
you had already stopped.
No.
You're going to stop at the end of the line.
All right, let's see. So I'll need to move 200 at least. So I'll go 250 meters east.
Ready.
Let me know when you're settled in. Yeah, you're heading?
We're ready, yeah.
Okay. Bridge nav. Step 250 meters east, 250 meters east. Roger that. To the east, thank you.
Stuck on silly. I've made it mad now. You're not recording, right?
I am. I can stop. Okay, I'm stopped. You can do whatever you need. We can bump to match Hercules to Atalanta if it's drifting south, yeah.
And to avoid that in the future, we should get in the habit of calling end of line, start of line.
Roger.
That will, both of us will have our ducks on the right page.
Or just don't do anything without call outs. Or both.
Well, yeah, I should have called out, my bad. You were rather involved. We should probably close it out end of line before we jump into what we're going to do on the next.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you jack the data. What do you want my exact heading to be?
I called in an east move, so east is fine. We're getting a weird kind of overlap anyway, but it'll be get a bunch of overlap at these primary events, which will be nice. It's also not the end of the world, all that. I can just cut that stuff
Yeah, it just
out.
causes you extra work. I know. It's painful. Okay, I'm dialed in.
Dialed in,
My
okay.
goal is 090.
I will hit start now, and whenever the Atalanta moves, we can proceed.
And, give me just a second. Did you already hit it?
I did, but I can hit it again. It's no big deal. I just don't use that data.
Yeah. We usually do, if you're doing proper lines, you have a run-in, so you get, you know you're going to cut off the first 10 meters or 20 meters or whatever while ROV gets its act together. Because we're, high maintenance. Okay.
Okay, good.
Yeah, finally.
All right, I will start.
How long is this line?
I called 250 meters in.
Very good.
Zoom in there to get the extent.
I have 249.5 to go.
Roger.
This is where we play around with our velocities in the beginning to
Yeah.
get matched up.
I think Atalanta's just starting to get ramped up. I don't think it's going at speed yet.
No. I'm a little bit more comfortable with the starts and stops than I was in the beginning. So I'll put that back up there if you can resist constantly moving it.
Yeah, at this point. I mean, I was trying to not do it when we were actually driving the line.
I can't, every time it moves, my eyes are attracted to it because I think it's something I need to look at, and I can't not look at it because every time it moves, and then I forget to pay attention to what I need to be. Plus, it's really cool to look at.
I still think in normal modes we should just have like a normal staff up here, and then there's a survey person running it in the back.
Totally. Yeah, it should be.
We just don't have that staff right now.
It's usually there's a separate static display for the ROV.
Yeah. Oh yeah, what was the, where'd we get with that?
Jake had one, but it's painfully slow. It's like 8 frames.
I mean, as long as it doesn't
something like that, which is
affect,
probably good enough.
As long as it doesn't affect any of this, it's fine.
Yeah, we're not 100% convinced that that's the case right now, because he was running it on the machine that's actually running the RViz program. So yeah, we need to think about that. The cool thing about that, any machine on the network that's running ROS could run that. Just the visualization program, and it might run a little better because it's not also running in orbit, which is, multi-beam, and that's a bit intensive. So you got 2 kind of waterfall displays running on a NUC. That's probably circa 20, who knows what.
Yeah, it used to all be on like 3 different computers. Now it's only on 2. There's only the one is Hercproc that's just kind of running in the background. I never have to do anything with.
Yeah, I'll talk to Rachel on the Jarvis cruise about getting that sorted out. We need some more. We also need some more machines for I'm still running what you're seeing here on a Raspberry Pi. And
not ideal.
No, depends. If you're from a sciencey, geeky perspective, you're goofing around, it's great, but from a deliverable reliability standpoint, it's not ideal. So what she has done is created some virtual machines on the server down there, which is legit. It's how Ropos deals with all their You know, they got 25 different computers to turn on to make the magic happen. That high horsepower computer and run VMs on it. It makes it way easier from a maintenance standpoint for DE too, so they're not, you know, they don't have all that physical hardware to deal with. Associated power supplies and networking and all that.
Did you land on the vent? It was like chimney-like?
No, we landed next to it, but it's super, super friable. And
But is it, like, what does it look like? Just
Like a straight up chimney.
like, yeah? How wide is it?
it looks like a tree that I sawed off at head height.
Cool. So
It's
that's like
narrow like that.
Yeah,
It looks like that.
nice.
I didn't think that it was that tall, but I guess that's only, you're saying 5 meters, or?
We have to measure it once we get the model up. But that's cool. That'll just be like a single cell will be a peak. Normally from shipboard multi-beam, if you had something like that, that would indicate a plume, not
Yeah.
just from the resolution that we're getting and the height that you'd be seeing from that. It would be like physically impossible for something to be like that. So it's good to verify that then for editing purposes to know, oh, well, that can be real at these scales.
Does ONC have any Blender experts?
Not sure.
The GIS team has been learning up on Blender, so they took a course, yes, maybe 6 months ago, and they're starting to implement it.
Oh,
So
nice.
Cassie's the lead of that team, so it's her and her team that are doing that. And they are very excited about it.
It's absolutely amazing piece of software and what they're doing with it, how far it's come over the years. It's got a bit of a stiff learning curve, but my then 14-year-old started burning down tutorials.
Oh, really?
And yeah, he had some of the first tutorials are you make a donut and then you frost the donut and then you put sprinkles on it. It took me, I don't know, a period of weeks to get the donut completed. He did his in like 2 days. But one of our data engineers, Tim, is pretty handy with Blender.
Yeah.
And some of the stuff he's done with some of Chris's previous models is just absolutely amazing. He's got one. We did quite a bit of time orbiting a methane seep, methane hydrate seep.
Oh, cool.
So it was a kind of a small, it was like a little mini caldera. And it wasn't that many, but, and then Chris managed to capture some of the bubbles using the water column data from Norbit on some other separate passes. So we did some passes with Norbit facing down, some facing out. Then Tim got a hold of the data and made it look like a picture.
Wow.
He put you know, texture and color, and then he got carried away and he has Nautilus beached in the caldera.
Oh yeah, that was funny.
And Herc laying on its side with its lights blinking on and off, and he titled it, "Where'd the water go?"
Yeah.
He was frustrated he couldn't quite get the seawater modeled in. It was easier to
So,
Nautilus and Herc in. But the model itself of the little mini caldera was just out of sight.
Kate sent me a paper by Kim Juniper on Middle Valley called Clam Distribution and Subsurface Hydrothermal Processes at Chowder Hill, Middle Valley, Juan de Fuca Ridge. And I think we're right about the Chowder Hill name.
What year was that? named?
This paper is from 96, but let me scan through. It wasn't named in 96, it was before that. So they say the largest bivalve colony known is located on the lower northwestern slope of a 15-meter high, 60-meter diameter mound known as Chowder Hill. And it was, looks like it was coined in 1992, maybe? No.
So that would be the end of your Norbit survey, yeah?
Yeah.
Coming in east.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go an extra 25 meters. I just looked on HiPAC. I think that ought to help.
Yeah, you should see a bump if you're in.
Sure, I just don't know which bump.
No, I mean it's a bump of similar size to what we're seeing here, but
yeah.
Steve will recognize the bump.
I'll recognize the bump.
I should recognize the bump. We looked at it long enough, yeah, Steve.
But yeah, and we went to it, and it was not the bump of choice.
It was a bump, though.
But it was a bump.
Hook was king of the bump.
Kirk was king of the bump. Why? See, why are you doing this? It's not taking the decimal. It's got me a couple times. Yeah. Big hole in your data.
That's all right. Let's see. Oh, the heading changed a bit, though.
Yeah, that's because
it's coming back around.
Suddenly goosed it. Like
yeah.
One thruster. Why? I'm going to cycle it. One thruster is like pegged 100%.
Yeah, what's going on?
I'm pulling it. I need to stop for a minute. It goosed it there and it's
yeah.
Atalanta around.
Not great.
I'll stop there. I can actually back up a bit.
That should be fine. I don't need, there's nothing really going on over there, and I'll have enough and this I can just cut out if it's not great.
It should relax and it's easy enough to step back a few meters.
Yeah, I'm going to cut the data, step back a few meters.
Sorry.
Step back a bit, and then we'll just rerun that.
Roger. You ready?
Yeah.
Stepping back. It's done that to me a couple times, but I didn't catch that it missed the decimal point on entering the. I told it to move at 5 knots. Or
it's just really
5
oscillating
units.
the heading. It's kind of wild.
Yeah, our offset's a bit much there.
Okay, that's probably good. I'll
sure, yeah.
start again.
Okay, here we go.
There we go.
What do we got left? 200 meters? 100, 200, 300 meters?
It'll be 275 in total. I'm going to call in another, well, I'll wait till it's done and I'll add another 25 to it.
So you would basically need how that usually works is there's a nav lead who is a day walker,
Yeah, it's typically what we have, like our mapping coordinator. The thing that I just need to sort out is the workload on that person is already pretty high with the shipboard multi-beaming and the dive plan and the training of the navs, because
But we don't have a mapping coordinator right now, do we?
No, this is the one cruise that we don't sail with it.
But usually there's a mapping coordinator who's not working a watch.
Yep. So I'll be that on all the ROV cruises for the rest of the season.
So in future, now that we know the capabilities of the Norbit, that should be one of our requests.
Yeah, I think that in the early years, it was like, that's an extra person.
Yeah.
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 And associated. And that was kind of rejected, and then whatever multi-beam we collected would not be, there was no guarantee of process because we didn't have someone to do it. But oftentimes we just try to get something at least quick to hand over to you guys to do more stuff with. But bridge nav. Add one more step to 5 meters, 25 meters east. Thank you.
Sorry.
Yeah, it would be hard for one person to do that because we'd be doing it at all odd hours, right?
Yeah.
So you can't be, you'd be like Mike getting up whenever we're mapping. That would be
Yeah,
ridiculous.
it'll be that plus the shipboard multi-beam. It kind of is a lot, but.
Yeah, that is a lot. That's not going to work.
And like I can do this right now, but I can't expect anyone else to be in the seat doing all that, you know? And it's kind of at the strain and at the sake of the processing is kind of whenever I can get to it, just out of a desire to do the proof of concept, but not really like time.
Yeah, we do it because we love it, but we're abnormal.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Can't go to sleep with unprocessed data.
No.
How does like data attribution work in these kind of cases? I don't mean so much for like ownership or authorship, but just like, there's so much data being provided. Is this like shared openly with the scientific community for them to play with or advance in their own way, or?
Yeah, for a normal Nautilus cruise, that's the case. And then for a cruise operating with a collaborative client, it's up to whatever agreement is there, but Ocean Networks Canada makes their data public anyway, so I'm sure there's pipelines to have all that kind of available. TBD on these high-res sites, what consequence there would be, but there's definitely conversations of that.
I think about Dan's story about how like this existing data got polished and advanced, right? It's like having that database somewhere for future technological innovation. Who knows what you could draw from when you see what's already been collected.
Yeah, this is a good plug right now for all the shipboard multi-beam. We provide, not only do we have in our own repository, but it's also sent to public repositories that collate all this data together. There's Seabed 2030 just announced a couple, maybe yesterday, that there's a new percentage of how much we have mapped of the seafloor, and it's now 26.1%. And when I started over 10 years ago, that number was like 10% or something like that. And a lot of that effort is extracting what's available and collating it into a more holistic model, and then also just the efforts of mapping in that 10-year span, 12-year span.
That's an interesting number. So what does that work out for percentage of the planet that you've
that'd be
mapped in the
interesting.
last 10 years?
Yeah, that's an interesting one. If you got the exact percent of the ocean.
Yeah,
right.
which is what, 70
around 70, yeah. If you,
yeah, and you got 16% of that over
Yeah.
10 years. Yeah.
yeah, it's significant.
Significant number, all right.
Yeah. The Seabed 2030, the name of it the initiative was to have the world's oceans mapped at least to, I think it's a 100-meter cell size. By 2030. So still plugging away, got a lot to go. But and then we contribute to GMRT, Global Multi-Resolution Topography Model. That's Lamont Doherty, which has a little more rigorous standard of quality control.
That's the vessel all stop?
Vessels all stop, yeah.
Did you or going to call in one more? Or
I added the extra bit already, so that was
it?
That one there, yeah. So it's held and Atalanta will swing and then slow. So we're now covering new ground here, looking for Steve's bump.
It's not a tumor.
Which would be probably on this side based on how they came in.
Yeah, I think so.
Zoom out here for a second. See yeah, so that's the edge of that around where you stopped orbiting. So
Yeah,
we'll cover it.
We stopped just not very long after the bump.
Okay.
Maybe the bump's going to be on the next grid line or something like that.
This thing's so laggy.
Yeah, it is. Wonder if it lags because it's got all that track lines in it.
It does, and unfortunately you can't really clear them very effectively without closing the program down, which is not an ideal closing method.
Rennie, when we did that second pass, did we get any more resolution on that wellhead or that kind of cork?
What we thought was the cork. Yeah, I'd have to look in. I'm not sure. I think it was here, maybe.
That's it, yeah.
Yeah. There's certainly another pass on it, yeah. But
we still haven't seen the cork.
We think we see it. We think that's it right there.
I think it's like the cone shape, yeah, but doesn't.
You guys are going to run out of cork time, aren't you? Are you going to go look at it? Or?
We might look at it, but first we want to look at dead dog and see if whether we can take a sample. Probably going to go right by the cork, so we might as well go check it out.
I'll see. Yeah, we're under 20. We're good. Run it out. The barometer in my room is dropping like a rock.
I suppose now it's just a matter of, did we get, what's this distance here? So this is only 75 meters, and we're seeing about 100-meter coverage, so they should have overlapped enough to tie in.
Yeah, maybe.
Once we stop the Atalanta swing, we can.
50 meters on each side.
I'm getting 100 on each side.
Are you?
Yeah.
Hey.
90, and then I'm gonna have to cut a little bit off, but you know it'll be enough to have some continuity.
I think they're back up now. Yeah. So we're just gonna do a watch change.
Still
here.
swinging, or you want to call it end
Take a
of
few
line for a
minutes
shift
while
change?
everyone's
Still swinging. We'll just keep it going. You could probably pause, and then we'll take a look at Atalanta. We'll just go a little further. It's put some safety in the bank.
5 minutes. I'm gonna go off comms for
Roger.
shift change.
Yeah, so this one is Dead Dog, and this one here is Chowder Hill, and kind of 90 degrees north, or well, I guess just north of Chowder Hill and just east of Dead Dog, we believe that's the wellhead or cork right there. So we're just finishing up our survey. They're going to keep going a little bit. Then we're going to finish our multi-beam and go down to the bottom, head over to, I guess, Dead Dog, assess whether we can do a gas tight. On the way, we may or may not stop at this cork. Yeah, so, I mean, then we'll go from there. Probably going to end it after that.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Hey, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
You sit down and put all the toys away. Yeah. Are we just holding position now?
Herc is just holding position at the moment. I think they just reached in out of a line, and
Okay,
just gonna catch up on what the next steps are gonna be.
Cool beans.
Yeah, Josh, I'll update you soon. Might as well just wait for nav to settle in as well.
Yeah, they're just finishing up their handover, and yeah, can talk through the next plans. It'll be great.
This
So it's running, it's just not
Okay, is that?
So you can use it
okay, so that's survey done. Pardon? Yeah, we can just get one from Nav once there's. That's yeah, that's a shift. That's a shift. Like a lot of multi-beam. The multi-beam's kind of, it's interesting. It's cool, but it's slow.
Yeah, it's one of those things where it's a little bit slow getting collecting the data, but like afterwards, just it pays off like 1000%.
Pays off immediately.
So it's so
I mean,
cool.
it pays off as you're doing it. It's just it's slow to watch it happen.
Slow to watch it happen.
I mean, it's definitely worth it.
Cool.
Not arguing. It's just
yeah. No, it's
like already.
It's a process.
Now it's done though, right? Now.
Yeah, that sounds like Rainey was saying we're done with that part. So.
But it, like where we were kind of lost before we started, we see all of them now. Right in even this little guy in the very bottom. Even that one is even the inspired one, right? Inspired mount. Then Chowder Hill is the one with the red on it.
Okay.
And then we've got Dead Dog, which is the one, that one.
Okay.
We've got a wellhead right there-ish.
That's for the cork?
That's the cork.
Cork, okay.
So we already took a gas site on Chowder Hill, which is that southern larger mound. So what we want to do now is, now that the survey's done, go to the bottom and head over, check out the cork on the way, maybe do a pirouette around it, and then we'll go to Dead Dog and evaluate whether we can do the temperature probe and gas tight.
Okay.
So, Johan, whenever you're ready, those are the next steps.
Copy that. Okay, so
where is, oh, in the Herc's kind of like,
Herc's facing
east.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
where that kind of,
where
the yellowy goldy bit is.
Yeah, because that's your Norbith.
Yeah.
Norbith
swath. Yeah.
Norbith swath.
Norbith.
Yeah, and then we think this.
That's where we want to go to the cork.
Here is the cork head. Yeah.
Okay. So maybe, do we want to come down the bottom, and then at that point you can give me a kind of range and bearing.
Yeah.
From there. Okay.
We could even probably start a ship move now, I guess.
Yeah, probably.
Only 30 meters off, so. Okay, I'm coming down.
Okay.
I'd like to turn to starboard, get my 6-8 wraps out.
Roger. Okay, coming down?
Coming down with you.
Yep.
Okay. So I think that's probably like 150 meters.
Okay.
I'm gonna let you pull a little tight here just for with the spins here.
Okay.
All right.
See you bottom a bit.
You can call a ship move in whenever you're ready.
All right.
Okay, coming down again now that it's tight.
Nav.
Okay.
Good morning. Can we have a 50 meter ship move at 330, please? Thanks.
That's some morning energy there.
Yeah.
Love to hear it.
Oh, there's bottom. So Chowder Hill because of all the clams.
Ah.
Got it.
Is that named today?
No, no, no. That's the name.
Oh.
That's the name.
Oh, where'd you get this hot tip from?
Oh, dug through a bunch of research papers and.
Oh, wonderful.
No, I know. No, someone did.
So it's 330. So
I started with 330.
okay. I'm gonna
Might
come
be
around
more
to
like
starboard to get there.
315. Yeah.
Yeah, cool. Again, I'm keeping it pretty tight till you get out because of all our
Forward a
spinach.
paper
Roger.
that
All our
Juniper
spinach.
wrote or was an author on, and then in there discuss this.
Nav, were you
It
going to
was
throw up
specifically
a
about
waypoint for the end of that
Chowder
survey?
Yes,
I didn't read it yet. Megan just mentioned it quickly.
We handed it.
I'll ask her for the
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay, I'll come out front a little bit more.
Yeah, cool. Tritech's off for orbiting. I'm going to turn that back on.
Okay. Are you getting that?
Yeah.
Just gonna look at my light configuration.
It's just turned off here, I think.
Okay,
Yeah,
I'm
got
gonna turn port starboard light on. Leave the down light off for now. So look at that, 2 laser dots.
Thanks, Nav.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Ooh.
I can start coming down
There's
a
an
little bit.
octopus
Okay,
down
okay.
there.
Oh yeah, there's an octo.
Well, visibility here is really good. What are those things?
Which stuff?
I wonder if it's just ropes or if it's some
Oh,
kind
on
of
the
animal.
right?
Could look at them if you want. Never mind.
Put it down as animal, I guess. A couple of weird, like jelly-like starfish down below.
Is that a rat tail?
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what that was.
I can
That's
go
a
back to
weird
the
angle.
dive special salvo.
Sounds good.
Johan, can we get those swapperoonie, please?
Yes, yes.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Orbulating.
So we're just waiting for Atalanta to start moving, right?
Yeah, that's right. Just kind of setting up my camera speeds a little bit. So
Yeah.
smooth and slow.
Yeah. When we do start moving, Josh, can we get closer to the bottom?
Absolutely, yeah.
Just so we can kind of see what's going on down there.
You bet.
There's more of the rope-like critters.
Okay, that
Oh,
ship
that
move is
is.
almost complete.
These anemones
Okay.
are beautiful.
I'd like to adjust to 300 for the next 50 meters, if that's all right.
300, okay.
Great. Bridge nav.
Weird
Can we get 50 meters at 300, please? Thank you.
Actually,
Hey, video, can we zoom in, please?
Wow.
That's cool.
That is such a cool anemone.
What's this, Steve? So what we're going to do is we're going to head there. We're going to stop by the cork pirouette, head to dead dog, and then see if it's going to be an easy gas dive to take. Plan is to take a gas dive unless it's like going to be very difficult. Then we will not.
Yeah, we can't do hard stuff.
Right, only easy stuff.
Just tell us it's going to be too difficult, Dirk, and just see what happens.
Yeah, good point.
Yeah. No, it could work out. Pardon? On the Steve bump, we saw that we went past where you were going. We did see this one. This little guy was the one that we did see. Inspired Mound.
Can we zoom in, please?
We
That
went.
is such a cool
You stopped your
anemone.
survey here. You stopped right there, and we went past your survey mark, and we didn't see a bump. So, if you saw it on your survey, it should show up on. These overlapped. Your end stop and our start end stop overlapped, but we did not see a bump.
looks like there might be a little worm. Oh, look at that.
Whoa, look at that guy.
Oh,
we didn't see it. We stopped. Look at this thing, Steve. What's that? That guy? No, but even with this little one? Really?
Wow.
Beautiful. Wait, so which one is the disco worm? Do we know?
Come on, please.
That's not a disco worm.
It
Disco worm
cannot.
is a scale worm on the tube worm bundles.
Is it a different type of scale worm?
Oh, actually, I don't know. I can't see it.
Maybe they inhabit one. There's another one.
Yeah.
And looks like it also has one on there. See, I think there's another little guy on that one.
Yeah, I think so. I wonder if they're common associates.
Does anyone know what the root-looking stuff is on the ground?
The what?
There was like a whole bunch of like root rope-looking
No, I don't know what that is. It didn't look like rope. It looked like animals of some kind, but I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Possibly the cork in the, are we that close in the Atalanta sonar?
Off to the left there, or what do you think?
Straight ahead.
Oh, maybe.
Yeah, I think this heading's pretty good, so.
I'm just going to line Atalanta up visually with Herc's heading.
Yeah, something hitting there. 70 meters away.
Mm-hmm.
No, we've got the Norbit running, and we're just going straight off the Norbit landmarks and not off the nav. Yeah, so when we get to the to what we suspect is the cork, we'll mark it on nav as a kind of a nice reference point. Because I don't think we've got any reference since the Norbit was done. But we're actively still multi-beaming. I don't think we're recording.
Not recording as far as I understand.
Yeah, not recording, but that kind of lets us overlap, find ourselves in the multi-beam map.
See it in Herc sonar there?
There's a little lump there.
Oh, you
like
checked it out?
20 meters ahead.
Yeah.
Dead hill. Nothing hill?
It's a little south maybe, but I don't know.
I don't know if that's the cork. That's just something.
Little something.
Yeah, a little something.
It's all nub. Oh, I think they looked at that one earlier. It's like looks kind of like a Sanya Village little guy.
Oop. This little guy?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Inspired Mounts. No, Inspired Mounts probably down here, a little further south. There's this thing here that we saw on the Norbit. I think so, based on this map. Inspired Mountains are... Oh, here's some rock or something. This is kind of cool. I'll focus this guy and take some stills.
That's probably all you'll get.
Okay.
Unless you really want more.
Ooh.
For anyone that is tuning into the live stream, we are currently diving at Middle Valley, and we are doing some multi-beam survey using the Norbit sonar that is mounted on the brow of ROV Hercules.
Bridge nav. Hi, can we get another 30 meters at 300, please?
It's a big hole here.
Thank you.
Big crater.
Oh.
Cool. Fly trap and
Well, you guys did spend a lot of time poking around over here. You were never north of Chowder Hill, so we'll soon be a new territory. I believe you never even saw the cork on the map, right? So you never saw the cork on your sonar. So I think
Interesting little ravine or
yeah,
something there.
so we're soon to be all new territory as the ship's moving slowly towards the cork. Maybe go on SBL if you, Steve, and then we can, otherwise I'm one-sided here. Oh, it's Megan's, yeah.
One-sided Dirk.
It's not what you want. You want a little bit of dilution in there at the very least.
All Dirk, all the time.
It's the Dirk show.
Dirk.
Dirk.
24 hours. Uh-oh.
Nothing but Dirk.
Yeesh.
There's more of that little ropey stuff underneath us.
Yeah, that's kind of sweet.
What is, did we figure out what that is? Oh, there's lots of it over here.
I think those are polychaete worms. But don't quote me on that.
So,
Squat lobster.
Squatty, yeah.
we're slowly just keep making our way over to the cork as we're waiting for the ship. In the meantime, we were checking out stuff on the bottom.
Yeah. Will you zoom in, please?
Taking some stills along the way. Well, it's definitely not autofocusing.
There's like little anemones on those? On the tubes?
Yeah,
I
maybe.
know what those are.
Tiny little like hydroid or something on there maybe. Clear colored one? I don't know.
They do
It's a
seem
guess.
like they've got a some kind of. Oh, that's a cool thing. Yeah, whatever that thing was.
Okay, we'll come wide, please.
Hey Dirk, you want to take this question that just came in?
Oh, happy to.
Yeah, the viewer is just wondering what kind of mapping are we doing? Like, is this a 3D structure scan, and how, and I guess the second part of the question, how big a patch can you map at one time is over to the ROVs?
Okay, so we just did a multi-beam map that we created by doing several passes, mowing the lawn over the area of interest, and this area was about 800 meters by probably 500 meters, and it took us approximately 2 hours to map. And when it comes to the resolution, Johan, if you want to take that one.
Good target hit on Atalanta now.
Yeah.
60 meters.
Oh, I like those urchins. They're super
fat. Oh, there's
fat,
something
like
nice
super
little
fast
mound
ones.
ahead of
Oh,
us.
they're so cool.
Nice mound ahead of us. Yeah, we can check that out, I'm sure.
Yeah. Are we, oh no, we're not near the
We'll zoom in, please.
cork yet.
No, we're not quite there to the cork.
But our ship move will get us there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Do we have one more, or?
We might have a little bit more.
A little bit more.
It looks
Yeah,
like it's still
we're
tight for time.
90 meters in front of
The
her.
ship is still moving, Dirk, just so you know.
Yeah, okay, but it's just so it doesn't stop, and then we have to get it moving again. And our objective is to get to dead dog.
Okay.
Rog.
Yeah,
Okay, look
basically
at mine, please.
slow down at the cork.
Yeah, that's the plan. Yeah, if we're gonna slow down, it should be at the cork.
Take a quick look at it. See, they've already tried. They visited it just fairly recently, and it's hopeless, kind of.
Hopeless.
Hopeless to revive it.
Oh.
It's too close to the Chowder Hill. It gets drilled into the hot stuff. It melted.
So what do you do? Do you leave it down there?
Now.
That's what they did. So that's ODP and on an ODP cruise. So I guess. But for us, it means yeah.
Can we get another 30 meters at 300, please? Thank you.
We'll have to design something pretty interesting on this ship to pull that up.
Oh yeah, not here. No.
If they can't do it. But if we're planning to put something here, it would be a good one to occupy.
What do the corks measure?
It's usually just pressure and temperature. So it's a long, so you get pore pressure in different spots, and you're trying to understand the flow of water often, and then you have temperature.
Okay, thanks.
But you can put anything you want in there. Now you got like a 5-inch hole or something that size.
Those targets are coming and going in Atalanta, so
yeah.
I'm not a big believer.
All stretched out right now too.
Yeah.
Let's wait for a sec.
I think still 50 meters to the cork from Herc.
50 meters from Herc, okay.
So I think this is looking pretty much where we're going.
Sure.
Then maybe those Atalanta targets are real.
We're done with the survey, and we're kind of working our way towards dead dog. I think they've already called the ship all the way over there, so we're just waiting for Atalanta to swing into position.
What's that thing? Like,
is it another octopus?
Octopus for sure.
Yeah, is this the granulodon or is that
Are you talking about this thing sticking out of the mud?
Oh, that's a fly trap anemone.
Oh, pardon, what was that?
Fly trap anemone, just a little one.
This octopus looks a little ferocious, more like a spider.
Ominous?
Yeah. It's
not all tucked away, kind of standing upright.
Yeah, you know? Little,
yeah, he's like, you shall not pass.
Platform style.
Doing the plank. Octopus core workout, yeah.
Starts doing push-ups.
Kind of reminds me of the raccoon that squared up to 5-year-old me because I wanted my ice cream.
Oh,
reminds
you
me of
go.
dog on ice, kind of.
Oh, yeah.
Split-legged.
Jeez, look at him.
We'll zoom in, please.
Waving hello now.
Yeah, he is.
Hey, buddy.
Very cool.
What are these? Are these just deep sea octopus? Is that just what it's called, or?
To my knowledge, I don't know if they have another common name. I think that's a Granulodon pacifica, but then it could also be the Muse octopus, which looks to be a little bit longer. I have a hard time telling the two apart without Fabio over my shoulder.
What cool animals.
They are. This morning we saw one of these octopus on the inside of the node trawl-resistant frame door. So when we opened it, it was an octopus brooding on the door.
Wow.
It was really cool.
Bridge nav.
Did you knock first?
No, it was a break and enter. Thank you for the
Get another
giggles.
10
No one giggled
meters
at midnight.
at 300, please.
Wow, look at it. The way that it's walking, it's so cool.
Looks like it's got its fists up to fight the ROV.
Yeah.
It's like the old-timey.
Yeah.
Well, no wonder this ROV, it's all up into the B&E.
Did you get any still grabs of that, Dirk?
Yeah, I'm trying to get it in focus, but it does. I think I'm getting some good ones.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'll see if I'll come down a little bit. See if we can
Yeah, and the stills you can see like right underneath of it.
I'm kind of sitting on the
Oh,
bottom.
cool.
Oh.
We can fix a lot of stuff, right? Later.
Yes.
In terms
Yeah,
of
it looks like a
focus?
slow motion
Okay,
charge.
we'll come wide, please.
I don't know about that, Dirk. Our team can work magic,
What
but I
can we
don't
do with
know.
bad
Truck it.
photos?
I think I see something in Herc sonar now.
I don't have a lot of
They do it
control
on TV
over
all the time, Yuko.
We're not a broadcast station. We're science.
No, on TV shows where they're like, enhance.
Enhance.
Yeah, take this
Enhance.
blurry. I'm zooming on that license plate.
Yeah.
That's the one.
And read the reflection off the mirror on the, see what the time is on that person's wristwatch.
Yeah, exactly.
Enhance.
In theory, does not work.
So who does the enhancing in the control van? Is it Anna?
Yeah.
Anna, enhance.
All right, make that picture good.
That seems like I'm not going the right direction for that target. 2040. Oh, it might be just coming in. Might not be there. That could be something else.
Did it just get windier in here?
Yeah.
It sounds really loud all of a sudden.
Yeah. It was. I was feeling a little warm over here. Are you guys chilly?
No, it's fine.
Okay.
Did you turn the wind up?
I did turn the wind up.
See the masking tape blowing around, so.
Ooh.
For the other Nautilus expeditions, is there ever a reference scale on the screen for viewers to compare the video to?
You mean like the lasers?
I guess we have lasers for our expedition, but I know we're not using those this time around.
I don't know if that's my target, eh?
Yeah, the lasers is generally how you get
That doesn't
your
match that
size, but you have to really be pointing at what
Yeah.
Like, see, the lasers are on right now, and that's 10 centimeters apart, but unless you're pointing at exactly the thing,
2040.
it's tough.
It's like I can go look at whatever that is 30 meters away, maybe. I might be able to reach that.
You don't think that's Corky?
Corky's on just slightly on the left there.
I think that's Corky.
That target?
You don't think so?
That must be it. No?
I think the red dot is, wasn't the red dot from earlier?
Yeah, it might be a little
Also,
more
your
due east
from
you now.
nav's offset right now. I need a reset.
That's true.
Roger.
Something 20 meters straight ahead of Herc here.
Yeah, I guess it depends on when that red X was dropped.
Oh, there it is. It's right in your screen, right on the stills camera. I can see it. It's the cork.
Oh yeah, okay.
Nice.
So maybe we need to adjust the ship position there a little bit.
Copy.
I might just swing past anyway. What are we doing when we get here?
We're just gonna do a pirouette.
Neat. Pirouette.
Can we get a position when we get there before we do a pirouette?
Yeah, and a position as well, Johan. Once
Here's
we are
here's
more
the cork.
a little closer.
Copy that.
The cork?
Cork. Cork.
Cork.
Is it called that because it's a hole in the ocean and then you plug it with this thing?
Yeah.
It doesn't stand for anything?
It does.
It does stand for something, but I think the acronym was made before the full name of the course.
A backronym.
Backronym, yeah.
Backronym.
Core hole obviation retrofit kit.
Oh, goodness.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
I thought it was circulation obviation retrofit kit.
Yeah.
Could be.
Yeah, that's.
Thanks,
I think you're right, Yuko.
Canadian
Observatory. Research.
retrofit kit, in this case.
Yeah,
like the little
circulation
sonar target.
obviation retrofit kit. You're right.
See the sonar targets on the side there? Sonar reflectors.
Think that's what it is?
Well, I think I'm going to come around. If you're going to swing,
yeah,
I'll come around this way, I think.
Okay.
You doing a pirouette around that way?
You think you're, oh, you might swing in like this way, you think?
I think, oh, I see what you're doing. Yeah, no,
We're
I
ending
understand.
around here-ish.
Yeah, I understand.
I can also come around. I mean, it's not very tall, so I'm
right.
not too worried about it.
Raj.
Yeah.
this one should be 858
G.
G. Yeah.
Thanks,
858 G.
Oh yeah, those are definitely radar deflectors. Or sonar.
That's cool. I didn't realize that it makes sense, obviously, so it worked for sonar too, but
Just gotta.
Oh, look, they even have it written 858G right on the
Yeah.
top. That's handy.
Where do you see that?
See right on the top of the basically the cover on the cork on the left hand side.
Oh yeah.
you just
Kind
passed
of written in giant,
Okay.
like black paint.
Okay.
Oh, it's on the right hand side now too. You
Okay.
can see the 8.
I like it when things
Maybe
are labeled.
I could
Yeah,
come
it's
back
helpful.
around and end on the other side of this one. Maybe.
Labeling things
Yeah,
on the
cool.
bottom of the seafloor.
You guys okay if I just pirouette back the other way around and then
Yeah, that's fine.
to the other side? Get you a shot of that label.
Pirouetting is a very descriptive term about what we're doing.
Do you want me to give you a little more tethering?
Yeah, I'm taking
Yeah,
stills, yeah.
Dirk's taking still photos.
But do they want them in
I'm still
focus?
moving, I think.
Yeah,
Okay. Yeah,
I'm
it's
Some of these are good.
22 meters.
I got a fair amount of tether right now.
Copy.
It'd be good to get images where the cable is.
Yeah. Okay, so I'll focus back on those little
Where the
wheels.
cable is, so the cable coming out of that.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Maybe even a zoom in there would be good.
Okay.
Did you ask for Zoom?
Yeah, I'll just come around us a little more.
Okay, copy.
Yeah, we'll zoom in, please.
I mean, that stuff looks pretty good still. I don't know what it
Oh,
should
cool.
look like, but it does look like there's.
What are those little things?
Little nubbins there.
Yeah. Those QDs to take flow out, maybe?
Quick disconnects? Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
It's another little